Good. All right, we're in the opening round of our finals. Over on 25 and 26, we have the 5 seed from McDowell, Taylor Kretz. We have the 8 seed from Thomas Jefferson, Annalise Williams. The 9 seed from Freeport, Kylie McConaughey. And the 12 seed from Hempfield, Ashley Benser. On 29 and 30, we have the 6 seed from East Allegheny, Madison Brodowski. The 7 seed from Deer Lake, Sydney Starkins. The 10 seed from Valley, Emmy Diem. And the 11 seed from Hempfield, Clara Carmichael. One girl from each pair will advance to the quarterfinals to take on the 3 and 4 seeds. Good luck. Let's set them off with a big round of applause. Good bowling.
Good luck.
Oh, sorry. Letters. Taylor A, Annalise B, Kylie C, Ashley D, Madison A, Sydney B, Emmy C, Clara D. I knew I forgot something. One score. Top one score. One score advances. All right, we are live. Hopefully our feeds don't do our normal garbage that keeps happening to us. We are at the Mount Lebanon. We are at AMF, Valera, Pittsburgh, going into Pittsburgh, or the Western PA Regional Girls Singles Finals. This is the opening round, and we are underway. On our pair here, we have the 6 seed, Madison Grodowski of East Allegheny. She's letter A. The 7 seed from Deer Lake, Sydney Sharkins. She's letter B. The the 10 seed, letter C from Valley, Emmy Diem. And the 11th seed from Hempfield, Clara Carmichael. One of these girls will advance to the next round, and all these girls have already qualified for states. Now up on the left lane is Sydney Sharkins. Here's her opening shot, and she puts 10 in a pit. Start off with her. Claire Carmichael on the right from Hempfield. Here's her opening shot. And wraps a 10 pin there. Also on our other feed, we have the 5, 8, 9, and 12 seed with Taylor Kretz of McDowell, Annalise Williams of Thomas Jefferson, Kylie McConaughey of Freeport, and Ashley Benser of Hempfield. Here's Claire's spare attempt. And just misses a 10 pin. So we have 3 open frames and 1 strike as we go to frame 2. Here's Emmy's first shot, second shot. Oh, puts it in the pocket, leaves a solid 8 pin. Madison Grodowski's second frame shot comes up a little white, leaves a 2-8. So we have 12 girls bowling today in the finals. All 12 have made it to states. Emmy's spare shot. is good. So spare. This is Madison spare shot from East Allegheny. And she converts as well. Our top 4 seeds today. The one was Allison Beagley of Apollo Ridge. 2 is Natalie Kristoff of Jeanette. 3 was Tessa Lovich of Deer Lakes. And 4 was Amelia Drosty of Hempfield. And that was a strike by Clara Carmichael. Amelia Drosty and Taylor Kretz tied. So they had a 9th and 10th frame roll-up that went 2 rounds before we got a winner to determine that seed. As you just saw, Sydney Sharkins strikes again, so that's a double for Sydney. As we get in the 3rd frame, Sydney Sharkins has the early lead. We also had a tie day for the 12th spot. We had a 3-way tie. And Messenger, not quite. Not enough energy there for Madison. Leaving the 10th pin. This is Emmy Dia, and she strikes. So we had a 3-way tie for the 12th spot. They had a 1-game off between Ashley Benzer of Hempfield, Hannah Wendez of Freeport, and Alex Fuller of Plum. It's an open frame for Madison there in the 3rd frame. And Ashley Benzer did win that 1-game off to advance to states and this final. Clara Carmichael working on a strike on the right. Comes up a little high, leaving a 6-10. Sydney Sharkins opening with a double, trying to get a turkey to start the match. Got that one in a little bit. Comes up high, leaves a baby split to 3-10. If you look down to 27-28 there, you can see our championship award for today's winner as Madison Gradowski opens in the 3rd frame. Mr. Sharkins trying to convert her baby split. And gets it a little high there, so it's an open frame for Sydney. But she still has the early lead. Gradowski comes up light and leaves a 2-pin. Emmy Dean working on a strike, comes up, misses the head pin, leaving a 1-2. Gradowski spares. Spare for Emmy. Emmy spares on her strike. There's Sydney Sharkins on her right from Deer Lakes. And it comes up high, leaving a 4-pin. Infield's Clara Carmichael shooting on the left. And she gets it. She also misses right, leaves a 1-2, 4, 10. Little washout there. Spare for Sydney. Next couple frames, I'll let you know how these girls bowl today in their games. It's an open frame for Clara as we are through 4 frames. And right now, the early lead belongs to Sydney Sharkins, letter B. Here's Emmy shot the 5th. And it's another washout out there. She leaves the 1-2, 10. Gradowski working on a spare. And she gets it right too, leaving a 2-10 split. Emmy today had a 895 for 5 games with a high game of 225. And she makes a spare. Gradowski trying to convert the split. Comes up close, but not quite. This is Clara Carmichael of Hempfield. She had a 5-game set of 894 with a high game of 233. There's her shot. And she leads the 4-7. Sydney Sharkins off to the left. She strikes again. She gets back on the strike train. Sydney Sharkins had a high game of 204 with a set of 911. That's a spare for Clara. And Emmy, after the big washout make. And she strikes. So after the big conversion of the spare, she throws a strike. And Gradowski up on her right. Comes up high, crosses over, and leaves a 5-pin. Which one? You can correct. Good. You can correct it down there. Make the correction. Menu. 2. Nine. 8. There you go. Thank you. Claire spares in the 6th frame. Comes Emmy working on a strike. And she leaves a baby split to 4-5. That's Gradowski up on 29 now. Coming off the open. And she leaves a 2-8-10 split. Here's Emmy trying to make her spare. And she gets 1. So an open frame for Emmy off the strike. Gradowski had a 930 series today with a 212 high game. We were going on a sport pattern today, so it's a little challenging today. Not your typical house shot. So the scores aren't big and strong, but they're manageable. And Madison splits. And this is Claire's shot over on the right for Hempfield. And she strikes. So that's a strike off their spare there for Claire. Sydney Sharkins up on working on a double. Leaves a 9-pin. She's trying to get that first turkey of the game. Gradowski trying to come back off of the open. She strikes, so she is on the board again. Sydney shooting her spare. And she converts her spare. She maintains the lead through 7 frames. We're in the 8th. Emmy Diem after the open. Trying to fight back. Crosses over. He gets them all but the 6-pin. And she converts a spare. So Sydney's on the right, Claire's on the left. 8th frame, Sydney working on a strike, or Sydney working on a spare. Claire is working on a strike. Looks like Sydney got that right a little bit, leaving the 1-2-4. Claire working on a strike, trying to put a double on the board. And she misses wide right, leaving a 1-2-8-9. Sydney trying to make her spare. And she converts for her spare. Claire opens up. So right now, it looks like it's Sydney's game to lose. She has complete control of this. And as long as she stays clean, she should take game one here. Emmy crosses over. She leaves the 3-9 double wood. Twardowski on the left. And she comes up high, leaving the 3-6-10. Emmy spare shooting, and she converts her spare. And Radowski spares up. Claire is in the 10 from Hempfield, working on an open. Comes up high, only leaves a 4-pin. Sydney trying to close out this first game. She comes up high, only leaving the 3. But that may be enough. Makes a spare. She's going to close this out with discount. As Clara makes her spare, Sydney trying to make hers. And she converts her spare. So we're going to 10th frame. Sydney, let her be, already has 171. The only one that can possibly catch her is Emmy, who's up and out on the play. Twardowski strikes in the 10. Emmy strikes, and she's still alive in this match. She can shoot 182, which means Sydney will have to get count, but she doesn't need much at this point. Madison strikes again on the right. Emmy misses right there, leaves a 2-4. So this match is going to Sydney Sharkins. She will advance as the 7 seed. And game one, Madison finishes with a score of, well, Emmy finishes with 172. $148 for Madison. Sydney gets a little victory lap frame here. And she strikes, so Sydney's going to take on her teammate, Tessa Lovich, in the next round over on our other camera. So if you're a Deer Lakes fan, that's where you're going to want to go to watch the other stream. I don't know who's going to be over here. I'll have Amelia Drosti against the winner of the other match, which I cannot see behind the screens. And Cindy comes up lightly with a baby split. As Claire's trying to finish off, shooting her 10 pin in the 10th. And it's an open frame, so she finishes with a score of 138. But like I said, this is Sydney Sharkins with the win, and she'll be advancing to the next round. And it converts, so she shoots a score of 201, and she will advance. So hang tight. We'll have our next match over here, which, like I said, will be Amelia Drosky against. I don't have a winner yet. It's too close to tell. So we're just going to hang tight here until this other match finishes up. They are in the 10th frame. I'll give you some scores in the other one, maybe, if they do. I think Taylor Kretz finished with a 184 game. It looks like Kylie McConaughey finished with a 140 game. Annalise Williams finished with I can't see it yet, a 171 game. And that match goes to Ashley Benser with a 194, who came out of that log jam and to get in with a three-way tie. Okay, I need 6 minutes of practice on both of these. Our winner on the left pair was Ashley Benser of Hempfield. On the right pair were Sydney Sharkins of Deer Lakes. High seeds come on down for practice. We're going to start you with 6. Sydney, you're going to 25 and 26. So you're going to start this practice. Sydney, you're going 25 and 26. Ashley, you're on 29 and 30. Tessa, you should be on 25 and 26. Amelia, 29 and 30. Allison, 25 and 26. Natalie, 29 and 30. There'll be 6 minutes of practice. When there's 2 minutes left, the only ones that will remain on the pair are 3 and the 4 seed. Everyone else can go back to the warm-up pairs if you choose. We will have a presentation of all awards after the championship match, so please stick around so you can get your awards. Scott, do you have to do it or do you have to check mark? All right, your practice is on. 6 minutes. So we got 6 minutes of practice here for this round. Practicing over here. This match will be it'll be Amelia Drosti taking on Ashley Benser. They are both from Hempfield. And on the left, it'll be Sydney Sharkins taking on Tessa Lovich. Both of Deer Lake, so we have teammates on both sides battling it out. This should be a good one. So I should have all the Hempfield fans on this stream, and Bella should have all the Deer Lakes fans over on our other stream. Bless you. You can write them down for me too. Thank you.
Mine might be wrong. I didn't write them down fast enough except I got asked for it. Yeah. I had mom text me some food.
30 seconds for the high seeds and the advancers from round one. 30 seconds. Sorry, sometimes I have to use the big boy mic here for the whole center. We're just finishing. I got 2 minutes of practice left. Okay, we should only have Amelia and Tessa practicing now. Everyone else should be down on the warm-up pairs, 35 to 38, if you want to continue warming up. Okay, 20 seconds. We got Ethan. We already were there. I'd like to have the advances down here in colors and 3-4 seats, please. High seat picks if they want to start and finish the match moving in on another lane. So I mean, pair on the left. We have the 4 seed from Hempfield. I'm sorry, wrong side. On the left, we have the 3 seed from Deer Lakes, Tessa Lovich. Going against her teammate from Deer Lakes, the 7 seed, Sydney Sharkins. On the right pair, we have the 4 seed from Hempfield, Amelia Drosty. Going against her teammate, the 12 seed, Ashley Spencer of Hempfield. All right, let's set them off a big round of applause. Good luck and good ball. All right, here we go. We got this quarterfinals here. We are watching the Hempfield exclusive match where coaches can just sit back sometimes and let them bowl. It's Ashley Benser, the 12 seed, against the 4 seed, Amelia Drosty. And over to I think Keith got it, I think. Keith, you got that? The letters? We still have some extra bowlers from the last match. Just need to clear them out. As soon as he gets them out, we will begin our quarterfinals. All right, we are ready to go. I think we are ready. Just hit the checks. All right, Amelia's the top seed, so she'll get to pick who starts and what pair she wants to start. Also, Tessa Lovich gets to pick down there. All right, looks like Ashley Benser is going to start. Yeah, I think. Here's our first shot of our quarterfinals by Ashley Benser. And she opens up with an X. So right out of the gate, so far she's bowled the most games in this tournament with the extra whole game to get into the final. There's Amelia over on the right with her opening shot. She had to buy. She had to beat Erie's. And she opens at the strike. So Amelia had to beat McDowell's Taylor Kretz in a 9th and 10th frame roll that went 2 rounds in order to get this bye, or she would have been bowling in the first round. So Amelia did shoot a 931 today for 5 games with a high game of 208. While Ashley Benser had an 888 with a high game of 195. Amelia up on the left, trying to get the opening double. Looks like she got that wide right and gets half a rack, leaving the 1, 2, 5, 8, 9. This could be a little tricky of a spare, but if you just throw your strike ball, it's a good chance of making it. And one swoop. Of course, right after this starts our boys' competition for singles. We'll have qualifying and then finals again after. Right on this channel. And there's a conversion for Amelia. So strike spare to open. We'll see how Ashley Benson responds to that. Here's her second shot of the game. Crosses over, takes them all down for an opening double for Benser. So early lead for Ashley after 2. And now she is going to go for that Pac-Man Gobbler triple turkey. Our Tier Lakes match is on the other feed, but I'll try to give you guys some updates here and there if you're not watching both. And our 1 and 2 seeds are down to my right, loosening up as they'll be coming in next round. And Ashley gets a half rack there, leaving it 2, 4, 5, 7, 8. Unfortunately, she is on a spare, so that hurts her pinfall a little bit, but she's on a double, so that hurt her pinfall a little, but she can make a spare and still recover some as it's early in the match. And she makes a spare, so she covers them all and stays clean through 3. We'll see what Drosty has to offer. Drosty, of course, was our WPIBL singles championship winner this year, and Ashley was last year's WPIBL singles champ. So, kind of a chance for them to battle it out here today. And she trips a 10 out of nowhere. I don't even know what hit it. It looked like a string strike almost. But she gets 10. That's clean through 3 for her as well. And after our final match, we will be doing the awards presentation and post-game interview with our champion. So down to my left, Tessa Lovich has gone open to start. Sharkins has gone strike spare. And if you look to the left, you'll see her bowling right about now. As Drosty throws her shot 2 and 4th. And Drosty leaves another 5 count. The same thing, the 1, 2, 5, 8, 9. But she's on a strike, not a spare or double, so if she makes a spare, the count doesn't hurt. There's a shot at it. Oh, this time not as high on it, so the 8-pin does not want to go down. An open frame lead gives Benser to lead, and she can add to that lead right here. Working on a spare, and she does strike, so she is takes a little bit more of a lead. As assuming strikes the rest of the way, she has a 27-pin lead on her teammate. Here's Ashley's shot in the fifth, working on a strike, trying to add to her lead. And she doubles up, so another strike for Ashley. Just extends her lead. Drosty needs to answer, and quickly. Here's Drosty's shot, and gets it high. So she missed right. Now she pulled it a little bit, leaving the 3, 6, 9, 10. And currently right now, the east side of the stage is also having their regionals. Their teams are today. They did singles yesterday, but they split the two houses, and we have everything in one house, one weekend. And Amelia makes her spare. So we go to the sixth frame. The other feed went to the break. Sometime on YouTube, when you're doing live streams, it asks you if you want to go on a break, and it cuts out the feed. So they're back up though, and now Amelia leaves a 4-pin. So there's a good shot there after a couple bad ones, and it's just not rewarded for it. 1 pin spare to shoot. There's Amelia's spare shot. She converts. So we go to the sixth frame. Benzer working on a double, trying to get a triple, which will give a really big lead in this game as we move forward. Here's her shot on the right lane. She gets it left. She tugs it. And she gets a huge break and trips the 5-pin on a Brooklyn for the Pac-Man Gobbler. When you're bullying these high competition matches, nobody wants to do that, especially against a teammate. But that's part of bowling, and sometimes you just got to take it because it'll come back and bite you another way. Ashley working on 3 in a row. Going for the 4-bagger. And she does. So it's 4 in a row. She's a 275 max at this point, and a very commanding lead. Not even assuming strike. She's up 42 after 5. Amelia trying to do anything, trying to answer. And she comes up high and leaves a 3-10. So baby split here for Amelia. Just trying to keep some hopes alive here. She's going to need to make this to have a little bit of light at the tunnel here. And she gets it the really hard way. Bounces a 10 off the back, takes out the 3, just like you're taught to make it. Over to my left, it looks like we have give you an update. It's a 33-pin lead right now for Sydney Sharkins over her teammate, Tessa Lovich. And they are heading to the 7th frame. We'll see how Amelia handles that. She'll see if it gets her a little spark after that big conversion. She just could not quite get that ball up and leaves a 2 or the 2-5. So the winner of this game will be taking on the tournament leader, Allison Beagley from Apollo Ridge. The winner of the other match will take on the number 2 seed, Natalie Kristoff from Jeanette. And they spares up. So Amelia can shoot 203. Spencer is already at 155 plus the rest. And she throws a 5-bagger. So she took advantage of the Brooklyn and she carried the 5. And another one. So she's at 185 already plus count. She's on her way to advance to the semifinals. All right, Ashley shot again. Doesn't get the 6-pack, but leaves a 9-pin. But guess what? That is enough for the win, as that gives her 212 at this point already. And as I said, 203 is Amelia's max score. So Ashley is going to the semifinals. And she spares. Clean through 9, 214 plus. So she is advancing. Here's Amelia just trying to finish up now. So a 9th and 10th to finish. And she gets to come back tomorrow for team event. And she won't be bowling against her teammate, but with her teammates. Who does strike in a 9th. Amelia up in the 10th. Got that one in. Crosses over and leaves a 6-pin. Unfortunate for Amelia, she just couldn't put it together in this game. Started out strike, 5 strike, and then just could not put anything together. So her day's going to come to an end, and she'll just prepare for tomorrow. Spares up. And over to our left, it looks like Sydney Sharkins has advanced. She has clinched that out with a frame to go for each of them. So Sydney will be taking on Natalie Kristoff from Jeanette, the number 2 seed, on our camera here. And over to the left, it'll be Allison Beagley against Ashley Benster. There's Amelia's last shot in the 10th, and of course it goes. They always go, and it doesn't matter. 183 for Amelia. Not a bad game considering the struggles she had. But this one, this is all Benster on this one. And comes through the nose, leaves a 3-6-10. Ashley shooting a spare. She misses her first open of the game, but she shoots 230 to 183. So she will advance. And on our other match, it's Sydney Sharkins 172. And Tessa is finishing up. It looks like she just decided to start bowling. And she doubled in a 10. She didn't have a strike the whole game, but sometimes that happens. And of course, they strike when it doesn't matter. Leaves a 9, and she finishes with 150. So 172 to 150. And Sydney Sharkins will advance. I'm going to go to the big mic here, so hang tight. Okay, our battle of teammate round has come to an end. And Sydney Sharkins and Ashley Benson both advanced, so congratulations. Okay, I need 5 minutes of practice, Scott, if you could. Ashley and Allison will be on 25 and 26. Natalie and Sydney will be on 29 and 30. 5 minutes, when there's 2 minutes left, Ashley and Sydney can go down and stay loose on the warm-up pairs. All right, practice is on. All right, they got 5 minutes of practice before we get started here. I have Natalie Kristoff of Jeanette, who is the number 2 seed today, and Sydney Sharkins, the number 7 seed from Deer Lakes. Over to our left, once again, it'll be on the other stream. It's Ashley Benser Hempfield against Allison Bigley of Apollo Ridge. Seconds for the advancers, 30 seconds. Okay, Ashley and Sydney, you can go warm up if you want. You do not have to. It's up to you. You can go to the warm up pairs. 2 minutes for 1 and 2 seeds. She gets to pick start or finish. She gets to pick start or finish. Start on the left. Whoever starts the match will start on the left. She wants to start on 29, and then she'll start the match. No, whatever it's time. No. Okay, 30 seconds. All right, Natalie's chosen to start. You're good if you want. Allison, your choice if you start or let her start. Whoever starts on the left lane. All right, we're all ready. We're sending these girls off with a round of applause. Allison against Ashley, Natalie against Sydney. Now we're back to live action here. Natalie's decided to start the match, so she'll be on the left lane first. And then we'll be going PBA style the rest of the way here. Natalie's first shot. And she gets it her wide. Little lays a two pin there. Really hustled back, but just a two pin's not bad. Easy spare to open up. And of course, Ashley and Allison are bowling to the left. These are our final 4. They've already won a trip to Lancaster in 2 weeks, and now we're just going for the championship. And it's a spare for Natalie to open up the match. Sydney, who's on this pair in a 4-person match, is still kicking around. And here's her first shot of the match. Looks a little high. Comes up high, leaving it 3-10. Once again, we got a final match after this, and then it'll be the award ceremony and the post-game interviews with our champion. Oh, an open frame for Sydney to start the match. So now he has the early lead. Here's Sydney first, second shot, and she pushes it wide again and gets half, leaving the middle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I hope the scoreboards are showing better on here than they have in previous years. They seem to look okay on my screen, but I hope you guys are able to read them. Sydney spare shot, and she converts a spare. So no harm on that 5 count. Of course, Natalie spared in her first match. It's from Jeanette, the Jayhawks. And I will give you updates on the other match as well as I can. And Natalie gets a little wide, leaving a 2-8. So kind of two shots in a row that were similar. Double wood here. It's not a gimme, but pretty makeable. And she converts the spare, so two spares to open up. And it's a 9-pin lead for Natalie after two as we go to the third frame. There's Natalie shot the third, and she strikes. It's a spare strike to start for Natalie. See if Cindy Sharkins can answer. She's been bowling since the first round today, and she's still going, as is Ashley. Cindy in the third, and she answers with a strike of her own on a spare. So the lead remains 9 pins for Natalie Kristoff as we go to the fourth frame. Oh, looks like she lost her balance a little bit. Got it right, leaves the 1-2-7. So she just needs, as the directions say up there, just run the ball down. Here's her spare attempt. Looks good, and she does convert the spare. So nice conversion there for Sydney. See if Natalie can get the double. Working on a strike to open up her lead a little bit. And here's her shot on a strike, and she does double. So extends her lead after 4. There's Natalie's shot, working on the double. Oh, she gets it wide and leaves a monster split there. The 2-4-8-10. It's a very difficult shot to make. In most cases, you just want to try to get the 3 pins, get the count, and move along because it's very tough to make this. There's Natalie shot, and well, she got 3. Not the way most people would want to get 3, but she did get 3. So Sydney now up in the 5th frame. And she strikes. So she takes advantage of the open frame. And if we assume strikes the rest of the way, Sydney is just taking a 7-pin lead. They both strike out with their max scores. Going for the double, Cindy Sharkins. And just doesn't quite finish, hangs a 10. Wasn't a bad shot, just didn't quite drive all the way, leaving only the 10 pin. Using a spare ball is Sydney Sharkins. Keeping something that skids a little more. But she gets it in, and it's an open frame for Sydney. Now we'll see if Natalie can take advantage of the open. There's Kristoff's shot in the 6th. She's down 5. Or no, she's in the 6th. She's not down 5. I apologize. And she is assuming strikes the rest of the way. She's up 25. We go to the 7th. In the other match, it is a 10-pin lead for Ashley Benzer as they go into the 6th frame. They are both working on spares. Looks like she got that one wide, and she leaves the 1-2 out of trouble. She didn't leave the big split like she left last frame over here, but kind of the same. She might have made an adjustment, and the ball just still didn't come up all the way. There's Natalie's spare shot, and she does convert. Sydney's coming off an open frame, and we're going to see how she can bounce back quickly. There's Sydney's shot, and she does throw a strike. So, assuming a striking out situation, it's a 5-pin lead for Natalie Kristoff. There's Sydney trying to double. Looks like a little high and an 8 count. A 3-6 combination off the strike. A double would have been huger, but now she just has to make the spare and move forward. Sydney spare shot, and it's good. So she converts in the 8th frame. Kristoff working on a spare in the 8th frame. Kristoff was our second high bowler today with a 974 and a 234 high game. And she shows why with a strike right there in the 8th frame. Her max score is 222. Sydney's max score is 197. If Natalie can strike here and double up, it'll be a huge lead for her as they go to the 10th. As she goes to the 10th frame. And she hangs a 10 in a 9th frame, so the door is not closed yet. Sydney has a max score of 197. Natalie's spare shot is good. 10's down. We're going to have to see what Sydney does and see if Natalie has to answer anything. Sharkins is in the 9th frame, working on a spare. It's her ninth frame shot. She got it wide. Leaves the 1-2. So Kristoff can shoot 202. That's her max. Cindy can still shoot 185 max. So she must make this and probably needs a double and a tenth to put some pressure on. But she pulls that one and only gets one. So it's an open frame. She can only get 174. And Natalie's probably just going to need count at this point. Down to her left, Benzer has a 10-pin lead as they go to the ninth frame. Down to my left. Split in that 10th frame for Sydney Sharkins. That might just about wrap this up. If she makes it, she can max at 64. Natalie already has 162. So even with a conversion, her run is going to come to an end here, but she made it to semifinals from the opening round. So not a bad day. She finishes with 153. Another strike for Natalie, so she is going to win this game and advance to our championship final against the winner of Allison Beagley and Ashley Benzer. And Allison just struck in the ninth. If she can win the game in the 10th frame. That was, if you saw that was a Brooklyn strike for Allison to my left. And Natalie doubles in the 10th. So that puts her over the 200 mark for her game. And a trip to the championship match. The most that Benzer can shoot is 188. Beagley crossover again for a triple, and she is at 180, so she just needs count to get the win over there. And Natalie finishes with a gobbler, so she will advance with a 202 to 153 victory. We don't know which pair they're going to pick. The high seed will pick, so we're going to go to one camera or the other. And Beagley just struck in the 10th to shut out Benzer. She shot 190, and Benzer can only go 188. So her long run today is going to come to an end as well. But she made it to state, so a good run by Ashley. So Allison will get to pick which pair. Most likely she will be on the left pair because that's where she was. So we'll probably be switching to the other camera. But hang tight. By Ashley and Sydney coming from the opening rounds to make it to the semis. But it looks like we're going to have a 1 and 2 showdown for the title. Allison is the number 1 seed. She gets to pick the pair. She wants to stay on 25 and 26. You'll get 5 minutes of practice, 2.5 minutes on each lane. 2.5 on each lane. After this match, we will be doing the awards presentation, and then we will have post-game interviews on our YouTube channel with our champion. Got a woo? I got a woo. All right, we're going to move over to the other camera, just so you guys know. Thank you for watching on here. Flip over to our other stream if you want to watch a championship match. We thank you guys for watching. Hope it's good enough for you to enjoy. Thank you very much. See you on the other one.